Our inner demons are the one things that as humans try to steer away from, all for the simple fact of how they make us feel. They're scary because it brought us to a place of discomfort and unease. We have a chemically engineered brain with a fight or flight system, and most of us choose flight. Of course, it's normal to avoid these things, but doing that only hinders our progress of evolving as an individual. A perfect example of this is The Babadook. The Babadook is an Australian indie film made in 2014, and this is the perfect example of this. The movie is about a single mother, Amelia, and her troubled son, Samuel. Samuel becomes fixated on a book called The Babadook, a creepy looking man with a top hat with hands like Freddy Krueger. And he torments them by whispering, screaming, threatening them. I don't want to spoil too much, but he does a lot of weird stuff. And as Amelia struggles with her own grief and stress over her dead husband for over 7 years, she begins to question whether the Babadook is real or simply a manifestation of her psychological turmoil. The film explores the themes of grief, motherhood, and the darkness within us all. The movie is a perfect example of what not to do when facing demons. In the book, it literally says the more you deny, the stronger it gets. But the mother is too stubborn to listen to the book, so she has to face the consequences. I don't want to spoil anything about the movie, so I'll just say facing and embracing the demon is what will ultimately lead to your upbringing instead of running away and creating that fear. Fear. Fear is all an illusion. What we create in our head is what directs us to how we feel, and how we can control how we feel through lots of practice and self-awareness. For example, if you say you're afraid of spiders, the more you tell that to yourself, the more it becomes real. How you speak to yourself actively manifests your reality. So if you dealt with a very traumatic event that happened in your life, how do you cope with it? Do you reject what happened and tell yourself that this makes you uncomfortable, or do you accept it, love it, embrace it for what it was, and realize that's what made you the person you are today? You see what I did there? It's making a negative topic positive just of the simple fact of how you want it to make you feel. Most people haven't truly healed from their trauma, and they hold on to a victim mentality, leading them to have many insecurities about themselves and many fears left unfaced. I've had a pretty recent experience in a dream. It was super random. I was just chilling in my dream, hanging with my friend, but I noticed this creepy looking monster floating in the air, like at a distance. But I kept ignoring it. Like, it kept following me, but I kept ignoring it. But there was a certain point to where I just dropped everything. I stopped. I started floating. I think I was lucid for a minute. I started floating. I went up to him and I just faced him. I just looked him in the eye and I stared at him. And this is where I realized that nothing can scare me but myself. I'm positive I was like semi-lucid, so I knew what I was doing, but I basically turned the nightmare into a lesson. It made me come to realize that literally nothing can tear you down except for yourself. And this wasn't a nightmare, it was more like a dream, because I faced my inner demon. That inner demon is you. It's a construct of your mind that needs to be loved. Once you learn to love everything, and I mean everything about yourself, about the world, about everyone else in it, things become a lot more palpable. Love breaks all barriers. Once you learn to love what shaped you, what you are today, how can you be scared of anything? How can you let something that you experienced define who you are right now? You are what you say you are, not demons, not social media, not your teacher, you. You are the world you create, so make the best of it. Love it and love what made you.